It's Saturday Night Raps and Vibes, presented by the Team Music Network, starring your host, DJ Fly Trav, aka TR Superstar. Check the vibes, and always remember, together, everybody a millionaire is a vibe.
That's right, it's a vibe. Once again, Saturday Night Raps and Vibes. Your wonderful host, DJ Fly Trav, also known as your favorite producer, Trav in the house, also known as TR Superstar.
TR Superstar.
Love it when they say it like that. Got a project on the way, Do Better. Let me plug that before I get things started. Saturday Night Raps and Vibes. I'm just kicking back on a wonderful Saturday evening. You know, if you're not familiar with it, I just like to use this platform to, you know, talk about a little music, talk about music news. I don't feel like I, have enough music conversation to fulfill my life. You know, I'm kind of in a box a lot of times. And sometimes I just want to get around people and talk music, you know, for fun, talk technical stuff, talk all types of music categories that you can imagine. I like to vibe out and talk that kind of talk. So I'm just going to use this platform for that. Thank you for vibing out with me. Once again, check us out on the Team Music Network. You know, our music, our culture, our way. I hope you're enjoying your evening, enjoying your night. Whenever you're listening to this, you know, so I'm not sure when you're listening to it, but whenever you are, hope you're enjoying yourself. Hope your drinks are flowing. Hope if you're partaking in any other substances that are good for your body, hope those are flowing as well. Light one up for your boy Trav. Kick back another shot for your boy Trav and just vibe out with me. However you may be enjoying this, maybe this is your pregame turn up, maybe this is your actual turn up, maybe you just in the house lounging out. That's cool too. The party can be at the crib, you feel me? You know, maybe this is your after hours vibe, or maybe you're just catching it later in the week. Either way, thank you for vibing out with me here on Saturday Night Raps and Vibes. I'm gonna get right to it. A lot of cool music stuff going on these days, as always. Some of your favorite artists in the news for different reasons, and we're gonna get right to it. First thing I want to do though is give you a list of new tracks to add to your playlist. There's a couple of tracks I've added to my playlist, so if you want to follow my playlist too, I'm gonna have those available to you on whatever music platform that you're listening to, that you're using. Hopefully using Tidal, and I can share my Tidal playlist with you, but you know how that goes. Maybe one day. Let me give you that list of new joints coming in. New single from Lakeyah and Latto. You know, they flipped the 2000s classic. Their new track entitled Mind Your Business, produced by Hitmaker, is almost certain to be playing in every club that you go to this summer. So that's Lakeyah and Latto, Mind Your Business. I really like that song, man. Latto's one of my favorite rappers right here, and Lakeyah, she's definitely she's snapping on this too, man. So shouts to both of them for giving us that track, man. Another track to add to your list, Sada Baby and Snoop Dogg dropped a track called Two Freaks. Gotta love that name. I mean, it makes perfect sense that Sada Baby and Snoop Dogg are like a collab made in heaven. Perfect match, man. They play off of each other. This is definitely a bop that you want to add to your playlist as well. To add to your vibes playlist, your R&B vibes playlist, make sure you add Deaux and Masego, Ease Up. I've had this song on repeat. You know, Deaux, she dropped her album, I believe it was last year, so she re-released it with a deluxe version with this song featuring Masego, Ease Up, man. They definitely did your thing, so make sure you check that out. Also, to add to your R&B playlist, Shawn dropped a song. She dropped you some Shawn dropped some love making music, I could put it, with her track Exchange. This is added to my late night vibes playlist right here, because she definitely went in on this track. So make sure you add that Shawn Exchange, add it to your R&B vibes playlist. Also, I missed one last week, but make sure you big shout out to one of my favorite artists of all time, M.I.A, man. M.I.A blessed us with a new single. Anytime she comes out with a new single, you know, I get happy. It's time to celebrate. She's super dope, man. She's got just real cool, man, real dope, you know, has her own type of way. She dropped a new single called The One. Make sure you add that to your playlist. Shouts out to M.I.A for giving us hits after hits after hits. Also, man, I gotta show some love to Wonder Banton. He gave us a vibe for the summer with his song called Summer Love, man. Shouts out to him, man. Producer and artist Wonder Banton with Summer Love, man. Shouts out to Nigeria. Also, bringing up Nigeria, shout out to Simi featuring Adekunle Gold. Balance is the title of the song that they dropped. And this is my kind of vibe, man. It's got a real smooth type of summer type vibe as well. Real laid back, man. I really love what they doing over there, man. Shouts out to Nigeria, man. I got to get out there sometime. They make some great music, man. They got some love the people there, man. Somebody got to hook me up with somebody, man, so I can get out there and tap in, man. Shouts out to everybody making dope music out there in Nigeria. And on the indie spotlight, I came across this EP today, man. Shouts out to artist Kennedy Road. I believe she's out of Toronto, Canada. She dropped the EP called Waves of Love Volume 2. I really like what she's doing with this smooth R&B. I was a fan of one of her songs. I think she dropped a couple years ago called Fallen. And she's definitely, man, on the way, man. So shouts out to Kennedy Road, man, with Waves of Love Volume 2. So those are your tracks and you want to add to your playlist, and that was your indie spotlight as well. I just kind of went all in on that one. Now I got to give a couple of special shout outs, man. First of all, I want to say congratulations to KayCyy. That's KayCyy, not KayCyy for KayCyy and JoJo, but KayCyy, KayCyy. Dropped his album called Get Used to It. I'm late on this guy. I actually heard his music, but didn't realize I've probably heard his music because he's worked with so many artists, from Kanye to Lil Wayne. But I'm a fan, and you could definitely hear the Lil Wayne influence on this, and that's not a bad thing at all. That's definitely a good thing, man. You could tell that Wayne has definitely had an influence on him. The way his voice is kind of similar. I mean, it just kind of puts me in that vibe, and like I said, man, that's not a bad thing at all. That's something that we should celebrate, so shouts to him, man. I really like this project, Get Used to It. Showed a lot of range on this album. One of my favorite joints, Hold You Up with Anastasia. That was definitely a vibe. Like you said, it showed some range on that, real smooth. Loved Borrow, was a bop too. Definitely something to add to your playlist too. I should have added that to the playlist additions section. But Borrow is definitely a vibe as well. And Rain with 070 Shake. It's one of my favorite joints. So make sure you check out KayCyy, Get Used to It. Congratulations to him on dropping the dope project for us to vibe out to. Speaking of 070 Shake, man, is she talented, man. Congratulations to 070 Shake, man. She dropped her project. If you follow me on any other platforms, you heard me mention her album on my podcast, M.I.A Pop Zone, with my brother and sister-in-law. But I'm a big fan of this project. I'm a big fan of her, and I knew that she was definitely gonna do some dope stuff on this. So I appreciate Shake for bringing something different to the game. I love her experimental vibes mixed with the R&B kind of vibe. You can hear her influence all over other people's records as well. So shouts to her for doing what she's doing, man. I love Cocoon. It's one of my favorite joints to go to. Gets me amped up with the build up too. Body might be my favorite song on there with Christina and the Queens. I like the beat switches she uses all over the album too. The build ups and beat switches during the tracks. Vibrations is an example of that. Vibrations might be my second favorite joint. I got that on repeat. And Stay is a beautiful song, man. I love Stay. Stay was magical. Shouts out to 070 Shake. Congratulations to her on dropping her project, You Can't Kill Me. And also shout out to one of my favorite rappers, man, underrated rapper, Cyhi the Prince. Cyhi dropped EGOT the EP. Also mentioned this on the M.I.A Pop Zone the other day. Cyhi is snapping as always on this. Cyhi is probably one of your favorite rapper. He's probably written for all of your favorite rappers, to be honest. So of course his lyrics are top tier. If you don't know Cyhi, he is a professional, all capital songwriter. So he definitely did his thing on this. A couple of my favorite joints. It's a 4-track EP, so it's a quick listen. I know he got something bigger on the way too, but I love Extra. The production and arrangement are dope on that. I think Exclusive did that track, but shouts, I like Extra, real dope. And Slide is a vibe too. I love the sample flip on that. So shouts to Cyhi the Prince for doing this thing. Congratulations to him on his EP, EGOT, the EP. Let's get into a few quick kicks. Speaking of Cyhi ripped it on the LA Leakers freestyle. Check out the LA Leakers freestyle Cyhi gave us, man. I like freestyles like that. It gives us give me like the kind of classic radio freestyle vibes you don't get these days anymore. So it's dope to hear that, man. A lot of people try them, you know, some of them are kind of blah, but you know, when someone like Cyhi is about to do it, you definitely open your eyes and your ears open up, man. Definitely check that out. I think it's all together, it might be like 8 minutes worth of freestyle, but he's definitely killing it, man. He definitely ripped it. So check that out. Also, Big Goo-Wop Gucci Mane dropped a song about his wife called Miss Davis. If you know me, you'll never hear me say a bad thing about Big Goo-Wop. Goo-Wop can literally do no wrong. He's giving us hit after hit forever. It's one of my favorite rappers of all time, man. So I'm gonna shout him out on that song, man. Goo-Wop can make a song about whatever he wants and make it sound dope. So I appreciate him for doing that. I'm sure his wife appreciates him too, man. Celebrate black love, man. So Gucci, man, doing this thing, man, showing us what you should do, man. Setting the bar real high for all of us out here. Also in the news, if you haven't heard, M.I.A hit with a lawsuit, man. $20 million lawsuit over All I Want for Christmas Is You from a country singer named Andy Stone. It's kind of wild, man. You know, I know what you're thinking, like, oh man, she stole the song. Well, not necessarily. Based on what I'm reading, it sounds like Andy Stone says he came up with the name All I Want for Christmas Is You on his song like a year before. And he feels like Mariah Carey took away his shine. So I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't win anything on this. You know, this doesn't sound like a real theft or anything, you know. And you got to pay attention to cases like this, man, because if it does, something does go down from it. Like, let's say this Andy Stone guy does win off of this. Then think about all the songs that people can go back and retroactively sue for and say, no, you stole my song title name. And $20 million, man, that's a lot of money. Of course, All I Want for Christmas Is You. It's one of the biggest music songs ever. So, man, I don't know. Sounds like a frivolous lawsuit to me. Hopefully, you know, Mariah Carey and team walk out unscathed with this. And Andy Stone, man, you know, sorry, but you just got to make another bop, man. Also, in big news, saw this is trending, man. Lil' Kim was the headliner for Pride out in California, I believe it was. So Lil' Kim, they said she performed all of her hits, man. Lady Marmalade, Lighters Up, Jump Off, all of the joints. You know, and if you don't know, actually, this is kind of new to me. Well, it's not new to me, but it made me realize that Lil' Kim is actually one of the first LGBTQ allies in hip hop, if you think about it. So that's kind of dope, man. If you really trace the roots of that, Lil' Kim should definitely be giving her flowers, but not only for that, but so much more, of course. Unfortunately, in today's generation, they've attempted to reduce her to a meme, but man, she's so much more than that. She's definitely the queen bee, and should be celebrated for a lot more than that. So shouts out to Lil' Kim for all that she's done and all that she's continuing to do in the hip hop game. We're gonna do a Lil' Kim appreciation one day too. I gotta make sure I add that to the list, man. Gotta remind some of the haters. Got just one more thing to get into today, man. We gotta get into this YSL thing. I'm sure you've heard. If you haven't been following along, YSL, you know, Young Stoner's Life, group founded by Young Thug, featuring hit artist Gunna as well. Of course, if you don't know that Young Thug and Gunna and the entire YSL are currently facing an alleged 56 count RICO case with charges relating to gang activity, racketeering, armed robbery, attempted murder, and so on, man. Real sad thing, man. We usually don't see artists that have ascended to this level have to deal with things like this. You know, usually it's just very rare that we see this once the artists have ascended to this level. But apparently these police officers and people have been following and building this case for a few years. Basically since Thug got into the game, they've been following this and building up, I guess, case after case so they can drop it all on them, man. So real sad situation. However you feel about it, however you feel about the music, however you feel about the artist, man, it's just a real sad situation to hear. I hate to see artists that, you know, have reached this level, that have reached this amount of success, that are super talented and creative and, you know, are on their mogul type tip right now, really have to, you know, go back and deal with this stuff. You would hope that they could, you know, escape all of that kind of stuff. They've basically found their out to overcome those kind of things. And, you know, here we are, you know. Again, I'm gonna say this is alleged because everyone is due their time in court. Doesn't look good, but I'm sure, you know, if none of these things happen and the team is innocent, then I'm sure they'll walk free and be just fine. And we'll hopefully hear some dope music from them. And got some super supportive testimonies, man. There's a testimony going viral from a 15-year-old boy. I don't remember his name, but he gave a very touching testimony and support to the positive impacts that Thug and the YSL life has had. He said YSL isn't young stoner life or young savage life. To him is young successful life, you know. So shouts out to him, man. It took a lot of courage for that, man. And, you know, guys, also some pre-tape supportive testimonies from Kevin Lyles and Lear Cohen. It's interesting. Lear Cohen gave him one too. That's very interesting. If you know, shouts out to them as well, man. I don't know. It's tough to know how to feel about this, to be honest, man. It's because, you know, I think two things can be true. Like what if some of these things are true, right? Like, what if some of these things, what if, you know, they had masterminded so much criminal activity in the area? What if they did place, you know, attempted murder hits on somebody, on some of your favorite artists? What if all of that is true? And what if they also have had a positive impact on the community as well? You know, it's like two things can be true. So I'm always torn when it comes to this kind of stuff. And again, these are talented artists. Like I said, no matter what you feel about them both, like Thug is part of this generation is going to be defined by what Thug has contributed to the music game. So it's just tough, man. Like I said, I hope, best case scenario, I hope none of it's true, right? I hope none of it's true. And, you know, these guys can move on. But I want to get into one of the major things that's coming out about this. A lot of what they are using as a part of their case against Thug and team are lyrics that they've used in their songs. And we've seen the police use this tactic before, right? I think it's a very foul tactic. But we know that's an outlet that they use. Whether they use it to describe your character or use it as a character testimony, or whether they actually use the lyrics literally word for word and make and use that towards the case. We've seen this done before. I personally don't agree with it. You know, I think the music can be looked at as entertainment, just like movies and television. You know, you can't go arrest Amari Hardwick and say, you know, we saw what Ghost did in Power Season 1 and 2. So we think you're a terrible person. You must be a drug kingpin off of that. Like, you can't do that, right? Music should be treated the same way as movies and television. I want to read this quote from, one of the lawyers of the defendants, Yak Gotti. He said, what the government is doing here in this case is sending a message to the music industry and the entertainment industry in Atlanta that is going to have a massive chilling effect. The message that the district attorney's office is sending to our community and to our country is that you better not come to Atlanta and make rap videos, because we're going to use those against you in court. I mean, well said, man. I think that's why there's a lot of implications behind this. You know, if they don't just ultimately throw out the use of lyrics in this case, if the judge and just don't disregard those, then like I said, this can set a precedent for case after case coming forward, or retroactively. Like, someone can bring up a song that you rapped about whatever and use it against you? What if it's about drugs, or you rap about selling drugs, or rap about using drugs? What if you rap about or sing about a domestic dispute? Any of that, like that kind of stuff can be used against you if you can use it in this case, which they're certainly trying to do. Even Kevin Loud said in his testimony that we don't argue about movies or other genres of music. We don't bring those things to court. But our music, we've been on trial, and we're constantly on trial over what we are and who we are. So there we go again. Like I said, he couldn't have said it better, man. It's just a constant attack on hip hop. They don't attack other genres for that. People that star in Quentin Tarantino movies don't get charged for being murderous killers or anything like that, or Scorsese movies don't get charged for being killers. Like I said, Omari Hardwick isn't on trial for being Ghost, So why is it only in hip hop music that we have to deal with this? But it does raise a point, though. Like, first off, let's say this first before I get into this. I want to get away from the criminal activity part. Like, if you have a gift, let me say this because I have to say this. If you have a gift, and this is just a lesson for others, you have a talent and a gift and an opportunity to change your life, your family's life, and the lives around you. You have to make sure you're separated from any criminal activity, separated from the streets as far as possible. And those that are still in the streets that see that person ascending to that level, you need to make sure that person is as far away from you as possible, because you don't want to ruin it for everybody. That's a lot of people's lives that can be impacted in a positive way. Now back to the lyrics conversation. I do agree that lyrics should be considered artistic and not factual. It's entertainment. But there is part of me too that says, as artists, we got to take a little responsibility and be more tactful when we're telling these stories or writing these lyrics. Like, we know they're out to get us, so let's not give them an end. I think we can still tell our stories, but make sure we're doing it in a creative way. And again, it's all entertainment, but we know, as much as we want to stand up for freedom of speech in our music, we know that they're going to try to use them against us. So I think we do have to be more creative and tactful when it comes to this kind of stuff. Allegedly there's a line about shooting at someone's mom, and then there was actually some shots fired at someone's mom, apparently, is what they're saying. Like, you see how close that is? That's not something that you want to rap about. Like, if you are, first of all, don't do criminal activity. But if you are doing it and then actually rap about what you did, you're telling on yourself in a way, right? Because not on trial for their lyrics, they're on trial for other alleged criminal activities that they may or may not have participated in. The lyrics are just used as evidence, as saying, this is what we believe they did, this is what we feel like they did, and here's them telling on themselves doing it, is kind of what they're using. Again, I don't agree with that, but putting yourself in the best situation if you have done something and you're mentioning it on a record. I'll just put it that way. They're also using social media posts, but I look at social media. Social media is kind of a fine line. I look at it as like entertainment as well, but there are some crazy things that go down on social media that should probably be used as well. So that's a whole nother topic on that one. I can't even get into that. But I just think, I don't know. Like I said, I'm down for freedom of speech in our lyrics. Like, I want us to be able to preserve our music and our art as best we can. I don't know. We just got to be a little smarter, I guess, as artists, to make sure we're not implicating ourselves in anything. Would it be the same if, R. Kelly made a song about young girls or something? Like, you see that see the comparison there? That's what I kind of related to. I don't know. It's just a wild situation to me, man. Like I said, I'm for freedom of speech, but we also got to be more creative as artists to make sure that we aren't putting ourselves in a bad situation. So I'm kind of torn. I'm leaning towards the entertainment side of things. Let the art be the art. But, I'm also on that side of saying put too much of your business out there if you don't want your business out there, if your business is true. And like I said, all that could be false, man. All of this could be just alleged and not true at all, which hopefully it is. Hopefully none of this is true. And, you know, all of the police, the prosecutors and all of them can have egg on their face for trying to take this down in hip hop again. But it's definitely something that we got to pay attention to, because like I said, it could set a precedent, just like the M.I.A Carey lawsuit thing. This could set a bigger precedent. They've tried to attack us for lyrics before in the hip hop community. They tried to attack Uncle Luke. They've tried to attack, you know, they've been attacking our artists for lyrics. So, you know, it's something to keep a close eye on, but hopefully everything works out for the positive in this, man. So we'll see how it goes. You know, I hate to share that bad news, but I thought it was just a conversation I needed to have with those. Tell me what you think about it if you're listening, man. But that's all I got today. I wanted to just keep it a quick little vibe today. Saturday Night Raps and Vibes, man. Once again, I am DJ Fly Trav, your favorite producer, Trav in the house. Also known as TR Superstar. Do Better.
Superstar.
It's on the way soon. Make sure you checking for it. Make sure you follow me on all my social media. TR Superstar 34 on Instagram and TikTok. Check out Team DeCapo on Instagram. Make sure you follow the Team Music Network on all platforms as well. You know what I'm saying? We just getting started, but we getting going, baby. Our music, our culture, our way. Once again, Saturday Night Raps and Vibes on the Team Music Network. I'm Trav. Enjoy the rest of your day.
It's a vibe.